bro.
Oh yeah.
Perfect day for a fly, eh?
What's happening, everyone? Aaron here from UAVISUALS, and I've got my buddy here, Jaxon.
What's up?
He's a very, very talented content creator, drone photographer, filmmaker,
Yes.
Origami specialist.
Yes.
I don't know. So what we're doing in these series of videos, we're going to show you how content creators like Jaxon go through the process of editing for their Instagram feed. One thing you'll notice is most creators like Jaxon have a similar look and feel and style when you scroll through their gallery. Jaxon's going to take us through the process. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what do you do? Where are you from?
Well, yeah, I'm 21. I'm from Perth, Western Australia. I've lived here my whole life. I do a lot of drone work, a lot of video work, freelancing, and yeah, full time, you know, like quite a few weddings, a lot of drone surveys, real estate stuff,
Yeah.
you know.
So, you've taken a photo. You'll be posting it quite soon, I imagine. So
Yeah, I was planning to post this today.
I've noticed also on your feed, it's a beautiful feed, really nice colors that all complement each other, and they've all got a similar kind of look and feel and style.
So if you look at my Instagram feed, it's got majority blues, and then every now and then I'll pop like a pink photo or a green photo in there. So it keeps that same color palette.
So how do you make
blues.
sure that the pinks are exactly the same in each image?
Well, they're not exactly the same, but
very close.
They are very close. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And usually that comes down to split toning in Lightroom. Usually I give like a little bit of blue in the shadows and then a little bit of pink in the highlights.
And before you post it up, do you have like a series of images that are ready to be kind of scheduled into your post, or do you just kind of wing it?
It depends. It depends how busy I am.
Yeah.
Like if I get like a free day during the week, I'll try to sit down and plan out the next week. One of the most important things is when someone lands on your page, the first 12 photos or something when they scroll down, and if that looks really pleasing, then you're more likely to be followed, you know.
So for the new content creators, the new photographers, filmmakers, etc. out there, can you give us any kind of tips for building their Instagram page?
Yeah, engagement is a very important thing. Like I engage with people all over Australia, all over the world, like other photographers and stuff, and you create like this almost like a friendship with them online. It really helps with how you post too.
So engaging, having a good gallery, having a kind of style, a bit of like
you got to be unique as well.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
That's a very important thing. There's a lot of common places that people shoot, and it's always the same shot. So try look at it a different way, try shoot it a different way.
I think for me as well, it's just to have a bit of fun and don't take it too seriously. You can tell the difference when there's a creator out there that just takes it way too serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am nothing without my following. I am nothing without my following.
Don't forget why you started. You're doing this for fun. You're doing it for the love of photography and video. Get out there like on a beautiful day like this. Just go shoot.
Just go shoot.
Bottom line. All right, man, let's do it. Let's get into it. So we're in Lightroom. Take me through it.
All right, so the first thing I do is hit the crop overlay and put it in the 4x5, which is best for Instagram as it takes up most of the screen.
Yep.
Hold shift, drag the corners out so you flip it. Then what I do is I try to look for like leading lines in the photo. So as you can see, this like whitewash here. It sort of goes from this end to that end, and I want to sort of match it up with that corner. So it creates that nice framing almost, I guess. Another thing I'll do is up the exposure a little bit. Up the contrast a tiny bit. There's already enough contrast in this photo, I think. I usually bring down the highlights because I'll bring that up a little bit later. Up the shadows, up the whites, bring out those really nice whites in the sands.
It's already starting to pop.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Bring down the blacks a little bit. So the blacks gives you a little bit more detail, like in the shadows up here and the person in the water. I'll bring down the clarity. I like to bring it to like negative 19, 20. Just gives it that really soft look, almost like a dreamy look. If you bump up the clarity too much, it just, I don't know, it looks too sharp and a bit fake, The water in this is quite blue, and it's almost too blue, and that's a natural color. So what I'll do is I'll actually bring down the vibrance to about negative 12-ish. It just gives it that a better look rather than having it too vibrant. Next thing is the tone curve. So what I usually do is I like to bring this end up. I try to create an S curve basically. Bring that down. It's pretty hard to see in the sun actually.
So this curve is essentially your contrast.
Yeah,
And it's just another way of playing with
pretty much. So if it's a straight line, it's sort of, I don't really know.
linear
It's,
in color.
yeah, in tones, I
In
think.
tones. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the shadows and the highlights are really contrasted, but if you
Yep.
make it like an S like this, it smooths it out a bit and it's a lot more soft to the eye,
Yep.
even if it's like a subtle difference. So that brings up the highlights a bit, but then this one brings it down to match the blacks a little bit better, so like
Oh,
it all
yeah.
comes together a bit smoother.
Yeah.
So that's what's happened so far. See that all the whites are nice and bright.
Okay.
The sand's really white.
Yep.
The water looks a lot more clear as well. Next thing is all the colors. Obviously the majority of the color in this photo is the aquas and the blues.
Mhm.
And what I like to do is try make the aquas a little bit more green and the blues a little bit more aqua. Won't touch the saturation, but I'll go to luminance and I'll bring up the aqua to about 45-ish. Really brightens up the water, and then bring the blues about 40.
Oh, wow.
Actually a little bit less. Maybe like 30.
Yep. Sweet.
So that, yeah, really brightens up those blues in the water. I won't actually touch split toning. I do in my pink photos and stuff like that, but because there's already enough blue in this photo, I don't really need to touch it.
Yep.
I'll then come down to the detail and I'll do a bit of noise reduction, probably about 20 or so on the luminance. That just, yes, again, softens it a little bit more because of that dreamy look. Yeah, it's always great having a subject in your photo as well, because if she wasn't there, it just looks like a normal beach, but
Yeah.
if she's there, it gives it more like a story or
Yep.
like... Alright, so next I'll do some gradient filters.
So gradient filters. This is the Jaxon Roberts touch, isn't it?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah.
This is your
so
signature move,
you can
right
do-
here. Signature move.
I think a lot of people use it,
Yeah.
but I can claim it as my signature move.
Alright.
It's, yeah, gradient filters, radial filters, and even the adjustment brush, they're really handy in photography. You can create a lot of different lights and shadows and different colors, and yeah, it's a great tool to have. So what I'll do is I'll drag it from this end. It's a little bit bright at the moment. Drag it to about there so it covers up most of the sand.
Yeah.
It's already set that much, but is I'll up the exposure a bit, probably to about 0.4.
Mm-hmm.
It's not heaps, but it's enough to, brighten up the sand a lot more if you look at both of them.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Alright, hit enter on that,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll do another graduated filter, because all of these shadows up the top here, they're a little bit too blue, and you don't want the shadows to stand out over the water, if you know what I mean. You want the water to be the main color. So what I'll do is I'll do another graduated filter just there, turn the exposure down, but then bring it up a little bit, probably to about there, and then I'll bump the saturation down quite a bit. So that takes away the blue in the shadows,
Ah yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's
Ooh.
pretty much it. I can't think of anything
Awesome.
else to do.
That looks mint.
Yeah, so if you look at the before and after,
Yeah.
it's a bit of a difference.
What a difference. So it was mainly the S curve, bit of brightness, cropping was important, and then once again at the end was the
The graduated
graduated
filters.
filter, yeah. And that was pretty much it.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
graduated filters, again, they're like my best friend.
Yeah.
You can do so much of them. A lot of the time what I'll do as well, if the water doesn't have much color in it, I'll
Yeah.
actually put one over the water and then add color through
and
the
then you
graduated
can
filter, but
tweak the color around a
the
bit.
water in this is already
Yeah.
perfect, so.
That's awesome. So now that's it, ready to export
Yep.
and throw it up in your feed.
Yeah, so I think the next step is what I do is I export it, I put it on my phone, and sometimes the colors can change dramatically when you put it on your phone. I don't know if you have that problem as well. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it can be too saturated, or sometimes it doesn't have enough color. So
Yeah.
I then
Tweak it just
tweak
slightly.
it a little bit more on
Yeah.
the computer. I don't really edit the edited photo. I always touch up the raw.
All right, good stuff. There you go.
There you
All
go.
done. This is how Jaxon Roberts edits his photos for Instagram.
All my secrets revealed.
Yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next one. If you like more of these videos, make sure you subscribe and also give Jaxon a follow on the Insties. So
Thanks,
that's
guys.
it. See you guys later.